Yo, welcome back to the Off Base Podcast. The podcast that's carefully crafted to remind you to suck a fat one if you think you're the only one, because you're not. Let's get the chaw going here. I'll be your host for the next 20 or so minutes. My name is the Rocky Mountain no-name Jackass. And it's 50 degrees in Aurora, Colorado. 7:47 in the a.m. on November the 29th, 2021. Let's get this started off right. Boom. Here we go, baby. All right. Haven't done one of these in a while. Why? Because for the first time in 2 years, we actually went on a family vacation. We went back to see my parents for their 80th birthdays in June and October of this year, but that's not a family vacation, And when we lived in Florida last year, it's Florida, it's right by the beach. We also had friends who lived by the beach, so those weren't really vacations. We would just go there for the weekend and just have fun at the beach. But this really was our first official family vacation in almost 2 years, if not longer, right? Because COVID came March of 20, that's right. It was March of 20, wasn't it? I can't even remember if it was 20 or 19. I think it was 20. Anyway, I got to start this thing off right by doing a hats off to Princess Hot Ass, who is my wife. So I'm in the wrong damn lane. Come on now. She, again, planned a phenomenal trip for us. Now, in the past, not only has she planned, but she's also packed because the kids were younger. So she always wanted to dress them up. Just like when she was a little girl, dressing up her dolls. And just like parents love to do, mothers in particular, like to do when they got little babies. They like to dress them up looking real cute. So 2 years ago, our kids' ages were 13, 11, and 6. So she still had plenty of dressing up to do. But now they're a little bit older, 15, 13, and 8. And we really didn't go places, where you got dressed up. I mean, we went out to a couple nice dinners. But the kids are older, they can dress themselves. And really the only things that we needed to pack on the trip were, a couple nice outfits and bring the ski gear, which we did. We ski hard. Oh, wow. Look at these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 antelope. Wow. Oh, no, those are deer. It's either deer or antelope that you'll see. And, of course, now I got the view of the Rocky Mountains. So a lot to talk about that's happened over the past week. I'll try to split it up and make it quick. Splitting it up on my different driving dimensions here. Pre-highway, on the highway, and then getting off the highway. We'll see what we can talk about. First, again, just going back to my wife, just a phenomenal job planning the trip. And because she usually packs the kids, she's been real busy at work lately. So I was like, you know what, I'll pack the kids this time. That's fine. The older ones, I just had them get their shit together. Last Tuesday, I packed up the little one. I packed up my stuff, and all she had to worry about was getting her stuff together. And for a family of 5, there's quite a few suitcases you got to take, plus all the ski gear and whatnot. And I didn't want her to have to worry about any of that. She works too damn hard, man. She should just get a chance to just come home, change clothes, get in the car, and go, which is what we did. When she got home from work last Wednesday, we left about 2 o'clock and drove to Vail, 2 hours from where we are. Had a really, really nice time all around. There wasn't a whole hell of a lot of snow on the mountains. Probably only like 10% of the runs were open, maybe 10% of the lifts were open. But you know what? It makes me want to go back even more when there's more snow. My wife and I and the oldest, we skied. My stepdaughter and stepson took snowboarding lessons this time. My stepdaughter because she wanted to. My son because ski lessons were sold out, so we couldn't get him into ski lessons. So we were like, "Hey, you want to snowboard?" And he was like, you know, and you got 8-year-olds out there. They're very malleable when it comes to shit like that. And my son has actually been, I'll say extra malleable over the last 3 years, because in the last 3 years he's been in 3 different schools. And I say that because he just started school when he was 5, right? So he started in Texas and then in Florida, now in Colorado. So he's adapting very, very well, and he adapts quick. So I got to take my hats off to my son too. I will also, once I get into the next lane, because I got to turn and this fucking asshole is not letting me in. Fucking asshole. Coloradans, man, they suck at driving. Texas people, they just don't use turn signals, but they're good drivers. Coloradans just fucking suck. I hope when I go and, you know, play this back and listen to it that I had my turning signal on long before I called that guy a fucking asshole. All right, here we go on the highway. So here's the fun story from the ski weekend about my stepdaughter. And what I don't want to do is get to the end of this story and make her sound ditzy, because she's not. She is, at least as far as I can tell, a pretty amazingly intuitive 13-year-old. There's some stuff that she's done in the past where she's recognized by energy that somebody in the family needs help or a helping hand or a hug, and really does a phenomenal job with that. She also does it with her friends too, and even with strangers. But I've seen it happen. So she's no dummy. Her intuition is phenomenal. But this is a funny story. So she took 2 days of snowboard lessons, and we thought she'd pick it up quick because she first learned to ski when she was 3, and she was awesome. And she's really good at skiing. She's a very good skier, and she's a very good swimmer. So 2 days of lessons, and we thought, all right, on the 3rd day, we'll let her freeboard down the mountain and get a chance to, you know, open up. Because, you know, when you take lessons, they have a confined area in which they're teaching you all the skills. So we figured 3rd day, all right, we'll let her loose and see what she can do. So it was the only one who was in ski school was my son. So here we are. We're getting ready to go out on that last day, and my stepdaughter is having trouble just kind of moving on down the mountain on her board. Like when you're on a flat surface, you kind of nudge yourself forward. If you've ever been I've never been on a snowboard, so I don't know. You got to nudge yourself forward a little bit. She was having trouble getting herself in gear. And then when she did get herself in gear, she fell like 5 times within the first, 20 yards. So I was like, all right. I told my wife and stepson, I was like, you guys just go ahead. You take the lift up even higher. Come down some blues, some greens. It's like, I'll stay with my stepdaughter. And usually what we'll do is, we'll take turns who's in the lead when we're skiing, and just have fun passing each other and whatnot. But because she was on the board and was struggling at the beginning, my thought was, all right, I'm just going to stand behind her, or ski behind her, not extra slow, but just slow. And when she falls, I'm going to act as like a traffic cop, just, blocking traffic so she doesn't get run over. Because the other thing she would do, I kept telling her, I was like, dude, don't do this. She'd fall, and then she'd like splay herself out. And some of the trails that we were going on were real narrow. And I was like, hey, don't do that, because somebody's going to come by and they're going to run over your hand. So that's why I started being a traffic cop. So she started to improve a little bit here and there. We had a real nice run that we were going down. So I had 2 stories I got to tell you about her. First one is the funny one. The second one is not so funny. And she's developing. She's getting more confident. Her runs are getting longer before she stops. We got to the top of a hill that all of a sudden branched off to a green that went to the left and a black that went to the right. Okay, right hand, left hand. All right. So we're at the top of the hill, and I said, all right, when we start getting closer to the bottom, make sure that you stay to your left so that we can continue going down greens. And she's like, oh yeah, okay. So she starts going down, and she wasn't veering left at all. And as a matter of fact, started veering more right. So we get halfway down the mountain, and I skied up next to her. I'm like, hey, you got to start going left, all right? Because we got to get over to the green. Yeah. So I let her go in front of me. I get behind her, just in case she falls. Same thing. She starts veering more right. She gets down right to where the cross section is, and I start yelling. I'm like, left. And finally she stopped. And then when we stopped, I said, hey, lift up your left hand. And she goes like this. She goes, and then she smiled and realized that she was going the wrong way. Oh, she had me cracking up. That was my fun story from the ski trip with her. But unfortunately, so we got back down to the bottom, took the gondola back up, and unfortunately on the second time down, she landed not on her booty, but landed on her hands and ended up spraining her wrist. And for some reason, the ski patrol was right behind me. Like they were, as soon as she fell, they were like right there. And I just thought, okay, she's fallen, 20 times already. She's just going to get right back up. But that wasn't the case this time. Ski patrol came, checked her out, and sure enough, she sprained her wrist. Poor girl. Because she was really getting the hang of it. And I thought by the time we hit the afternoon that all four of us were going to be skiing down the mountain together. But that's all right. So that was the ski weekend. Yesterday we got home for annual decorating day, which for us is usually the day after Thanksgiving, but because we were skiing this weekend, we did it when we got home. And I got off today, so I figured, look, we're gonna be, tired from the trip. We're gonna be doing annual decorating, decorate the house for Christmas. I'll take a mini vacation after the vacation, just to make sure that I'm nice and well rested and ready to go back to work tomorrow. So we got home yesterday, and man, we really produced. By we, I mean my wife and I. The kids did all right. They did all right. My son didn't really do shit. My stepdaughter couldn't do much because of her wrist, but my stepson had his girlfriend over, which was really nice. I got to meet her for the first time. Great little girl. And they both helped out with the decorating, in particular putting the tree together, which is usually my domain. My wife likes setting up everything else. I do the tree, and then I do the lights on the tree, and then I do the lights outside, which I have to do when I get home. But when we got home yesterday, I immediately cleaned up the kitchen so that I'd have something to work with, and then got a grocery list, went to the store, came back. We had turkey bacon sandwiches, and then I also made a turkey soup, which was perfect because by the time we got done with the decorating, got the tree up and everything, it was time to watch our first Christmas movie. And everybody out there, I know you know which one it is. I know you're guessing right now. The first movie that you got to watch once Christmas season rolls around, because we told the kids, we said no Christmas movies until after Thanksgiving. Well, guess what? It's after Thanksgiving. And we try to watch as many Christmas movies as we can. And our number one first movie we watch, Christmas movie, is, drumroll, Die Hard. Yeah, that's right, Die Hard. One of the best Christmas movies out there. And we had a blast, as usual. Chilling out, eating turkey sandwiches, eating turkey soup. My wife and I enjoying some nice beverages. She loves after Thanksgiving, during Thanksgiving and after, the cranberry mule. Now, for those of you out there looking for a new drink, the cranberry mule, you just take a bag of cranberries, throw them in your freezer. That's key. You got to throw them in your freezer so that they freeze up, so that all that moisture, all the water that's inside the berries gets ice. It's like ice. Because when you take them out, they act as your ice cubes. So you take, we usually do them in the copper cups. We like doing our mules in the copper cups. So you take the cranberries out, you throw them into the copper cup, you take a muddler or something like that and just smash them up so that you start getting like this cranberry slush on the bottom of your cup. You squeeze half a lime in there, so you got your lime juice, and then you take a 2-ounce jigger, you do 2 ounces of vodka, and then you do 2 ounces of cranberry juice, and then you top it off with ginger beer. Fantastic winter drink. Even though it's a cold drink, and we usually like to drink red wine, that's one of our go-tos right there. All right, so here we are turning back on base. We'll see if the Moto Man is here. He is the man. I didn't get to watch any football at all. I'll probably get caught up today, but I still have a bunch of little tasks around the house to take care of. Finishing up putting Christmas boxes away, and the last bit of the decorations up, including the lights. I got to return my son and stepdaughter's ski gear because we didn't get their stuff for the season because we didn't know if they were going to like snowboarding or not. But me and my wife and my stepson, we all have our gear rented for the entire season, which is going to be great. I'm telling you. I didn't know how cool it was going to be until we did this first trip. It was only a 2-hour drive to Vail, 2-hour drive back. And there's some slopes, resorts, I don't know what the fuck to call them, that are even closer than Vail. So it's only like maybe an hour and 15 minutes, hour 20 minutes. If we can get up like we normally do for school, 6:30 in the morning, leave at 7, or maybe even leave at 8. Get over there to when everything opens up at 9. Ski for the whole day. There's some slopes that have, what the hell am I doing with my hotel card? That's not going to get me on base. Dumbass. See? I'm a jackass. But anyway, there's some slopes out there that have night skiing, so we could potentially stay a little bit longer and then drive back hour and a half. Let's say we leave there at 5, maybe come back here, go to a nice dinner, maybe Applebee on a date night. Got the Bourbon Street steak and the Oreo shake. Look at me singing. Hey, good morning, man.
All right, you have a nice day.
Thanks, man. Cool, brother. The men and women of our armed forces. Oh yeah, our 2 next door neighbors. I think I mentioned this. I might have mentioned this the last time I did a podcast, but they're pretty awesome, and they take care of their people. There's people on base who are working 24/7 shifts and didn't get a chance to go home to their families. And on Thanksgiving, our 2 next door neighbors, they went around to the people who were working 24/7 shifts and brought them food. The way the military take care of themselves is pretty awesome. Not to mention that the way that the people, common folk, like myself, non-active duty members, honor and take care of the military is also quite awesome. You gotta hand it to our country in that regard. Because when you're putting your life on the line, some of us, when we go to work, I got an office job. There ain't no way that my life is ever going to be threatened, especially working from home. Give me a break. The worst thing that could happen to me is, the fucking light bulb falls on my head or something like that. That ain't going to kill me. Versus, maybe 10% of the time that you're in the military, you run the risk of being deployed. And then you'll see fire. My wife saw fire both deployments that she had, one in Iraq and one in Afghanistan, man. She said when in Iraq, this was before I met her, that they were getting bombed all the time. So anyway, I don't want to necessarily go down that rabbit hole, because here I am back on base. I'm seeing Denver in the foreground. Rocky Mountains look fantastic in the background. A bunch of little chores to do. Going through, I'll say this real quick for sports cards folks out there. I'm going through my 1993-94 Fleer. Holy shit. This is the 3rd year that the Chicago Bulls won the NBA title, completing dynasty number 1. The cards that are coming out of this they're beautiful cards, man. They made them a little bit thicker in the 93-94 season, and the set that I have so far, the packs that I've opened, perfect centering. And of course, when you buy them brand new, the corners and the edges are also solid, but the centering on these things is fantastic. I already got a couple of good Jordans and a couple of good Shaqs. But it doesn't make any sense to me. They always say that the 93, 94 is Shaq's second year, but it's not. It's his rookie year. But in 92, 93, they put out Fleer and Tops and Upper Deck. Upper Deck. They put out these second series, these two series, series 2, whatever the hell you want to call it, before the season has even been completed. So there's no stats on the backs of these rookie cards. And people are like, oh, it's their rookie card. And I'm like, it's not their rookie card. But it's your rookie card when you have stats to back it up for the whole year. But I guess I'm being a purist jackass in that regard. All right, let's close this sucker down. I hope everybody has a great day out there. Stay motivated in whatever the hell you're doing for yourself, your family. And yeah, that's it. I'll smell you this afternoon.